What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the boxing clinic. 2 videos today. Like I said, the Chavez Jr. Canelo Alvarez prediction coming up tomorrow for sure. Back one more time for the one time, and like I've been saying before, a lot of people despise Deontay Wilder. For real reason, I don't know. I don't understand why people dislike him so much. I understand that Anthony Joshua had a late start. Wilder had about 5 more years being pro than Anthony Joshua. And a lot of people really hate Wilder because he was just moved so slowly. Same people dislike Gary Russell because he was moved so slowly. But difference is, like, Gary Russell was a high amateur and could have won gold medal until he got sick at the Olympics. Wilder was a late starter, and it took his time. You hear Wilder talking about like he felt he was ready, but Al Heyman and his handlers knew he wasn't ready for the top heavyweights. And you see guys like Seth Mitchell, who was just moving so fast in the heavyweight division and just blowing past Wilder. It seemed like every heavyweight was just right past Wilder on the resume scale. But at the end of the day, it's people who look at Anthony Joshua's resume, look at Golovkin's resume. You know, you can look at Terence Crawford's resume, and those resumes are not filled with elite fighters, if any are elite fighters in their prime on their resume. And they don't get half the flack that Deontay Wilder gets. I don't understand it. Deontay Wilder has a decent personality. And what's been overlooked, let's get into it, is he's been calling Anthony Joshua out for the last 8 months, ever since he hurt his shoulder and hurt his hand. Now, I know he didn't look good versus Gerald Washington, but with the shoulder hand injury, I mean, of course he's rusty. That's the first real long layoff he had. This guy was a guy that was fighting like 2 or 3 times in a 6-week period, even though they was cupcakes. You know, and a lot of people felt like he was going to lose to Bermane Stiverne, and I was one of those guys. I wasn't sure if Wilder could stand up to Bermane Stiverne's power if he got hit, and Wilder proved that he can box for 12 rounds and did it easier than most other heavyweights. And he shows that he really has the stamina and the durability to go a little whiles. And people talk about the one punch that he had versus David Haye in Spartan when David Haye, like, he took his head off with that uppercut. But, you know, people don't talk about Anthony Joshua got knocked out by bum-ass David Price in sparring, or he got knocked out by an amateur named Daniel Dubois, who's going to make noise in the heavyweight division or the cruiserweight division, which one he campaigning as a pro pretty soon. You don't hear about that stuff, though. People go back and point, oh, Deontay Wilder got knocked out in this amateur bout. But you don't hear about Joshua getting knocked out in sparring. And it's well publicized when people pick and choose who they like, just based off bullshit and personality. I don't pick and choose who I want to win off of personality and bullshit. But like I said, Wilder's been calling out Joshua for the last 8 months. Joshua has not even acknowledged him by saying, oh, you should become a better pay-per-view star over in America so you can make a pay-per-view. We're not paying for no pay-per-view heavyweight fights in America. It ain't been a good heavyweight fight in America in a very, very long time, again, with an American in it. So probably over 20, 30 years. We haven't seen it. So we're not paying for one premier pay-per-view fight. It should be given to us for free. And we want free boxing. We're not about to pay for him and Joshua. Absolutely not. No matter how big in the sport they get. But Wilder's been calling off for 8 months. People do not acknowledge it. People don't say, oh, Joshua was ducking Wilder like Danny was ducking Lucas Matisse, or like you know, Floyd was ducking Pacquiao. You don't hear that stuff because people pick and choose who they want to like. It's bullshit. He's been calling them out. Joshua didn't acknowledge him yesterday. He called out over 100-pound obese Tyson Fury before he even acknowledged Deontay Wilder. Talking about he don't need to fight in America. That's just more duck sauce because he don't want to fight Deontay Wilder. I'm not saying Wilder's going to win. I wouldn't bet my money on either one of these shaky-ass heavyweights. But what I'm saying is, why is not people putting more pressure on Joshua to fight Wilder? But like I said, if Vladimir Klitschko exercises his rematch, Luis Ortiz is the mandatory. So it's going to be a while before any fight other than Vlad or Ortiz can happen. But this your boy CJ Goodfellow with the Boxing Clinic. We gone.